together and put away the rally monkey. We can put away the rant from 2003. And I can put away that Met uni that I wore at Shea at the end of Game 4 in the year 2000. Welcome, folks, to a celebratory day as we sort of become our home base nationally for the San Francisco Giants. What can I say? Great job to have you with us here today. What a wonderful open put together by Bill Zimmerman. Of course, Adam Bernard's in the house here as well on Sirius XM 123, 144 on Mad Dog Unleashed. You know, I was trying to put into words how I was going to handle a championship for the San Francisco Giants for the first time in my lifetime that I can, obviously in 54, wasn't even around. First time in my lifetime, after plenty of heartbreak, I've gone through all the games. After plenty of rants, you've heard all of those. After plenty of garbage dump quotes, you've heard all of that. Bad trades, bad losses, bad teams. I'm not exactly sure how to put into it the fact that the San Francisco Giants, who basically dominated the Texas Rangers, and this is not to knock Texas, but they did, who did not play a Game 7, who were 6.5 games back, or 6 out on August 22nd, who were 23-11 from that point on, who had an unbelievable postseason, and the San Francisco Giants, unbelievable. I never would have thought I ever would have seen it, go out there and win a championship. For all the Giant fans out there, I mean, I get too much credit. Listen, I understand that I wear the sleeve. I wear that Giant emblem. I'm the one who sort of represents a lot of the Giant fans outside of the Bay Area. But that doesn't mean I'm the best Giant fan. It just means I'm the loudest, as I've said to you 1,000 times. But I think all Giant fans, when they came into this series, felt very good about it. I think all Giant fans felt that they were going to have that pitching to beat Texas. And I think everybody was very, very confident, especially I was, going into last night, that Lincecum would outpitch Cliff Lee. But this is not really, this little monologue here is not about dissecting Freddie Sanchez's base hit, which is the biggest hit of the postseason, or dissecting the performance that Bochy put on in Game 6 in Philadelphia, or even dissecting what was a 5-game pitching 65 Dodger orientation here against Texas. This is about a kid, and that's me, and this is every Giant fan and every team's fans' kids. This doesn't have to be the Giants. This could be the Red Sox fan. This could be the White Sox fan. This even could be the Yankee fan, God forsake. This is about every kid, the 69 Met fan, the 86 Met fan. Go on of all these teams and all the sports. More so baseball than football, because football is once a week. It's only 16 games. You don't live and breathe it as much as you do baseball. Basketball, the regular season doesn't mean an awful lot. Same thing NHL. I mean, nobody's getting teary-eyed about, somebody winning in golf or in tennis. This is about the baseball fan. And, I was a young kid who happened to be in the right hotel room at the right time with the right parents, with the right team in town, and the right player beginning his career, which began a love affair with this franchise. And that was in 68. I get that question asked all the time. At the Hilton Hotel in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, when I was a little 8-year-old running around that lobby there in the summer of 68, Giants playing the Phillies at Old Connie Mack, and getting McCovey's autograph, and getting Mike McCormick's autograph, and getting, Juan Marichal's autograph, Bill Mambo Kent's autograph, you name it. And trying to find Willie Mays and make sure he signs too. Bobby Bonds' first year breaking in. This is about that young kid who was in 5th grade in Mr. Bloomberg's math class when I remember specifically Game 4 in Pittsburgh and Game 3 when he took the radio out at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the Giants were playing the Pirates. And they lost those 2 games in Pittsburgh with Marichal giving up that 8th inning home run to Richie Hebner. And, of course, the next day, and I was a big Chris Pyer fan, I was his rookie year. The next day when the Giants lost 9-5, that 5th grader bouncing around Split Rock School, all upset that the Giants lost in 4 games to the eventual world champion Pirates. This is about that little kid there, with my little stickers on my little bedroom, with all the little team flags, and me writing letters to Gary Lavelle and all those Gary Tomlinson, Ed Goodson, all those Giants to try to get autographs back. This is about that little kid who would look at the paper 2 days after the fact and track down the attendance at Candlestick Park, where they had 11,035 here on Friday night. They had 13,000 here on Sunday afternoon. In those days, the game games began, by the way, at 8:05 San Francisco time, which meant 11:05 for me. This is about that young kid who used to listen to a lot of Met-Giant games out there in San Francisco in the mid-'70s when the Giants were hosting the Mets, who went to, when I got a little older in '78 after lots of bad years, going to Shea Stadium with the aforementioned Phil Taylor, the Phil Taylor who writes in Sports Illustrated, on a Friday doubleheader in June, going down to the bench area when I was 18, going down to the bench area, and Mike Ivey had hit a previous home run the previous week against the Dodgers, and Don Sutton to bring the Giants back from a 5-1 deficit. And I brought up the fact that Ivey hit the home run and he broke his bat during batting practice, threw it to me. The guard took it away, and Ivey got the guard and said, "Hey, that kid gets the bat. That's the young kid right here." Hey. This is Freddie Linefus in the mid-'70s at Darrow School in New Lebanon, New York, when the Giants made that trade for Kenny Reitz and played third base. I thought the Giants would be a heck of a team in that year. They were bad. And Freddie, who is still with us, thank God, a huge baseball, Met fan, but a huge baseball fan, and where we go. This is about that young kid in 1980 at Shea when the Mets were bad, and Alan Ripley had a 7-0 lead in the 5th inning, and Steve Henderson in the 9th hit a 3-run home run to beat us, in the bad years. This is about a Giant fan in 1983, my first job in radio in Jacksonville, Florida, living in a little house off a little room off somebody's house at $100 a month, $120. Let's get it right. $120 a month rent. No kitchen facilities, just a bathroom. And I made sure, this is in 83, Giants are supposed to be good. They were good in 82, supposed to be good. Obviously, they got Al Oliver in that right in spring training, the Pirates scoop. Thought that was going to be the difference. Made sure I called USA Cable. Made sure I called to get the cable vision so I can watch the USA games and the Giants. So I'm starting my career in radio, and I make sure I got nothing else in that house. Nothing. Had the little satellite up there so I can watch Giant games. This is about that little kid in 82 who was working at a gasoline station in Syosset, Long Island, overnight during that September pennant race when the Giants, of course, almost caught Atlanta. They were one back with a week to go and then got burned by the Dodgers. Fred Brining on a Friday night, and then Morgan hit the home run on Sunday. Yeah, that little kid. This is the kid who in 85 on a summer vacation in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, driving up to Hilton Head from Orlando, Florida. The Giants won 4 in a row. That was a terrible Giant team. Chris Brown lost 100 games, and they won 4 in a row, and I was so excited because I thought the Giants were going to have some sort of magical summer run. Happened to be wrong. 86, 2.5 in 86. They were good. Mike Aldretti at first base. They were flying. That kid. 87 sat there with a little Zenith television set, the same TV set, by the way, I had in Orlando, over on 333 East 51st Street, a little studio apartment, watching the Giants lose that game to St. Louis in Game 6 on the Candy Maldonado. Yes, that kid. Wasn't a kid any longer. 89, we know all about. Right field foul pole, here come the A's, the earthquake, left the day of, come back to New York. 93, new girlfriend, had no idea what my love affair with the Giants were all about. Met her in May of 93, and then 4 months later, the poor girl is put into a rabid pennant race with Atlanta, where Tad Smith gave away the pennant when they traded Fred McGriff to the Braves for nobody in particular. And McGriff and the Braves, the fire in the press box, 51-17. Last weekend of the year, that poor girl, Jean Russo, had to put up with me losing the games. Went to a party on Saturday night, and the worst is she wanted to be with her new boyfriend, and I ignored her all night. All I freaking cared about was the Giants on Sunday afternoon with the Dodgers and the Braves and the Rockies and how we had to win the division, and if we not, we play the tie-breaking, the playing game on Monday. And that poor girl had no idea what she was getting into because that Sunday afternoon, 13-1 L.A. Solomon Torres. Yeah, that kid. 94 in Greece, not yet married to this young lady. 94 in Greece, I'm bouncing around Santorini, Greece, in the worst way, finding some newspapers to get the Giant scores before the strike. 97, living and dying with that unbelievable pennant race with L.A., Brian Johnson. And then, like an idiot, flying out to San Francisco after they had lost 2 games in a row to the Marlins in the playoffs, Edgar Renteria. Out to San Francisco for Game 3, Wilson Alvarez, Devon White. Hit a grand slam. Couldn't sleep when the Giants had the bases loaded against Rod Beck in a playing game in '98. Didn't score. Barry Bonds. '99, they won 14 of 16. They were flying in September. Lost a bad game to Pittsburgh. We came home from the Jersey Shore. I had a baby then. I said, Gene, I can't deal with it. I'm married at this point. Same woman. Can't deal with it. Took a 15-mile run, whatever it was. Forget the Mets. Forget the Mets. Can't even deal with that one. 2001 with Bonds. Yeah, I got wrapped up. No question about it, but didn't win. Game 5 in Atlanta, 2-0-2. Phenomenal. Beat the Cardinals. We all know what happened. 8 outs to go. Here, Russ, take the ball. That was rough. Getting calls with 8 outs to go from friends in Syosset for 30 years, congratulating me, and I'm like an idiot accepting it. 5-0. Scott Spezio. Yeah. Forgot about it in '03 for a while. Obviously, the Giants then. I was writing a book. I was doing millions of signings with this dopey little book of mine. That's all I cared about. Didn't get wrapped up to it until, of course, the postseason against the Marlins. The Marlins now. Jose Cruz drops the ball across the foul line and right. Lose game 3. And we all know what happened in game 4 with JT Snow out at the plate. The Marlins. That's where the rain came from. '04, in a restaurant parking lot in Wilton, Connecticut, through a friend, through a friend, through a friend, through a friend. Finley's Grand Slam, end of season. Then bad again. Couldn't get wrapped up with Bonds. How to deal with the Yankees, championship after championship after championship. Tony Russo, Mike, oh, God. Pretend interest at Yankee Stadium. Salivate for that one Giant spot maybe we could do in a course of 5 months. I was still a kid, don't forget. Might be 45, 46, still a kid. Still a kid. Last year, 4 hours and 47 minutes on August 24th, left my family at the Jersey Shore with the pretense, had to go check the mail, make sure the house was okay. That wasn't the reason. Came home on Sunday and Monday, Giants, Rockies, late August, finally back in a pennant race, and Ryan Spielberg's, of all people, hits a grand slam in the bottom of the 13th, or was it the 14th? I forget now. Merkin Valdez, remember that? And then the garbage dump at 41 and 40 here in 2010. Then the streak. And I can remember on August 30th, the night I did that U.S. Open, a disastrous program. Nice job by the USTA, putting me in the middle of nowhere. But that's another story. Coming home that night, and Sanchez shut out in the 9th, and then a broken bat triple by Carlos Gonzalez. I could not sleep that night for 5 hours. So it's about that little kid.